How did Dame beat me? What the hell? Wow, I'm impressed with you. Yeah. Yeah, my lineup decision was easy. I looked at Big Joel out. What other five do we have on the team? And Bam got the honor. So it was good for him, too. Yeah. It was funny. I told him in the locker room he didn't know. I thought he knew because I told the league yesterday, and he didn't know. So you could tell he was very happy about it.
Adam and Joe Dumars have talked for a while about trying to make this game more competitive. And I know you'll coach it like Game 7. I get it.
Yeah.
Where is the line? And as far as putting on a game, but also making sure it's fun and light and everybody.
And healthy. You know, I don't know where the line's at, honestly. I played in one. I played in a good one because, you know, it was the one where it was in Chicago and Michael didn't want to lose at home. So he gave the famous halftime speech, anybody that doesn't want to play hard, sit, but I don't lose at home. And that game, right when Michael said that, I'm sitting there thinking, well, I'm going to play a lot in the second half because he wanted us to play defense. That's what I was. So it's a tough one. It really is. I want it to be more competitive. I think it can be more competitive. You know, but the health thing is an issue in anything. Someone could get hurt in the layup line. You just never know. So, you know, I just hope it's competitive. I hope the fourth quarter at least is. I think that's what fans want to see.
The scoring to him right now, you're getting a lot of 70s. You know, we're talking about maybe somebody could score 80 in a game.
Yeah.
Is there need to be
Yeah. You mean in an NBA game? Well, we'll score 100, so it's never too much, you know. I don't know what is too much. I mean, it's just I think what stands out is there's so many guys have done it this year, you know, and that stands out. You know, you have 50s and 60s and 70s. It makes the layperson look back and say, what's going on? In 1 year, did they get that much better, or is it harder to defend, or are they not playing defense? And I can tell you the guys are playing defense, but it is harder to defend, you know, with the rules. Well, there have already been all the rule changes over the last 10 or 15 years have been all offensive rule changes. So my guess is they will bring back not rules, but maybe the way the game is allowed to be played. It'll be a little more physical. The playoffs will be that way. Don't worry. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, listen, I think you coach the team that you have, and if you have a team that can score, you score. The way we are defending so far, we have to score, you know, being honest, because we have not reached that level yet defensively. But, you know, if you look statistically over the last 20 years, the same teams win it. The teams that are in the top 5 or 10 in offense and the team that are in the top 5 or 10 in defense. That's not going away. And so you can score all you want, but you better be able to defend, too, if you want to win. Well, it was hard. It was going to be hard regardless, you know, but taking a job when you're about to go on the toughest road trip of the season is not the smartest decision. I even told them that. Can we wait till All-Star break? You know, it would have been a lot nicer. But, you know, it's like the end game is what we're playing for. And the organization felt strongly that a change needed to be made defensively and things like that, and that's what we're doing. The problem is while you're doing that, you're in the middle of the season on the toughest trip that you're on, and in, you know, 3 or 4 of those games, 2 of your key players are out. So it is what it is. But so that in that way it's been harder. I mean, the fact I've been in Milwaukee 4 days. You know, I've had the job for 3 weeks. So it's been difficult. It's been probably more difficult than I thought. I love him. I mean, it's just, you know, I got to meet him early in the year because I was a broadcaster, you know, a month ago. And just a solid kid, young kid. I love the way he plays. You know, I like he plays on both ends. And what stands out to me, and I'm not with him every day, he has a competitive gene. You can see that he likes to win. He doesn't like losing games. I don't think he was very happy about losing last night, going by his body language, and I think that's good. Yeah. Oh, I think anybody fits with him, really. I mean, I don't think it matters. He's going to make anybody better. No. You know, it's funny. I did the what was the tournament called? The in-season tournament, and I had to do the one game on Turner, and I was joking with all of them. I said, "Gosh, I'm going to be in L.A. during the All-Star break. You guys are going to have to work the All-Star," and that's what Reggie and they were happy to see me. Let me put it that way. I talked a little too much trash. I didn't know I'd be here. So.
You talked about how you thought it was more difficult than you thought it would be. So looking forward, what are the areas you feel like
Well, I can see the areas of improvement, and so can our guys. You know, getting timely stops, being a better transition team, and being a better offensive team in the fourth quarter down the stretch. I think those are the areas. Yeah, when Dominique won the dunk contest. Yeah. Yeah. You know, someone asked me, one of the players asked me today, what did I think was a turning point of when the All-Star games started changing? I couldn't remember. I know it's obviously happened. I thought those games were very competitive back then, and something changed, but I'm not sure when.
What was it like to watch the slam dunk contest when you had two teammates, Spudweb, Dominique? I mean, that meant a lot to them.
That meant a lot to both. And the one that Spud won, you know, Dominique, we had to walk around on eggshells for a little while on that one because Dominique, you know, obviously felt he won that one too. Dominique felt like he won every dunk contest that he was in. He may be right about that. But if you go against Spud in Dallas, you're going to lose. You go against Michael in Chicago, you're going to lose. So, yeah, I remember Mike Fratello asking us to kind of not bring the dunk contest a lot, which is not the right thing to ask players because it's the first thing we brought up. So, you too.
I'm curious what you've made of two on-lose jobs going back-to-back in a few months. Had to take on a bit of a challenge with four big kind of players.
Yeah, he's done a terrific job. I mean, Ty is obviously, you know, he's a sensational coach, and you know, I knew he was going to be. You know, I'm the one who hired him, so every time I see him do well, it makes me happy. I was the one that, you know, obviously they consulted, they made calls, and I was one of the guys that said it'd be a great deal for them because I thought he fit them better than he would fit the Sixer team. I think he's a perfect fit for him.
So they reach out to you?
Yeah, it's a league. We talk, you know, and so they just talk and ask questions, and I was on board early. So. Yeah, it was a tougher one for me because who do I reach out to? You know, I couldn't talk to them. They were on the team. You know, I did call Bud, I will say that, because, you know, he had seen the team and he felt strongly that the team could win. But that was a tough one. Usually when you're taking a job, it's during the offseason and you have more time. They called me and put me on the clock, you know, so it was a tough one. Yeah, well, this is Adrian's sweatshirt, to be honest. I mean, Griff is the one who really earned this, and I say that with humility. I really do. But, yeah, it would have been nice to have been able to be in Milwaukee right now to just find somewhere to live. You know, I'm in a hotel still. So it's definitely different, and it'll all work out, but it's just going to take time. Yeah. Listen, I don't coach James anymore, and I don't need to answer any of those questions. So that's whatever he wants that to mean. You should ask him. I'm not the one who said it. Yeah. Well, it's been nice for me, even though I'm not in Milwaukee. At least I have time. Like, if you go in my room right now, it's a mess. But it's a mess with film, and this is the first break that I've had since taking the job. So it's kind of nice watching the games and trying to evaluate and what we can do better. I haven't had that opportunity since taking the job because we got thrown right into a West Coast trip, So it has been nice in that way. Everyone hates the snow. I was good with it. I wasn't going anywhere anyway. I was going to be in my room, so. Yeah. Well, Giannis is easy, He's just, he earned the nickname, the freak for a reason. Like, you give him the ball with his size. He does things that I've never seen before at his size, where I've been very happy with his passing. We know he can score, but he's really right now, in some ways, we got 2 point guards on our team. We got Dame and Giannis at the same time. And every second on the floor, for the most part, we have a guy that can make plays for his teammates. And that's really good for our team. Yeah, they all, it's funny, the Ginobilis of the world, and there's no other Ginobilis of the world. What I like about all of them is the passion that they play with. They all have that same thing, I do think growing up in a soccer world, as crazy as it sounds, all those guys come from like this team fabric, and you can see it. You can see it towards their own teammates. You can see when they see one of their own countrymen. But I do think it's from that fabric, and it's pretty cool to watch. You mean for the All-Star game? Oh. Yeah. Hey. Yeah, the offense we've kind of left alone for the most part. My concern, obviously, is what our shot quality. Is we take a lot of tough shots, and you can get away with that in the regular season. You can't get away with that in the playoffs, so that is a concern, and that's something we are absolutely going to work on the second half. Well, Barry always gets the last one, so yeah. Hey. I don't know. It's a good question, and I don't know the answer. I think if the game is 80, 81, 120, 121, what we want to see is a competitive game. And I think at the end of the day, that's what we really want. You want to be able to defend the last shot. If you talk to every coach, they would tell you, listen, I just want a fair chance of stopping a guy on the last shot, and that would mean the whole game, but that means the last shot. So.
Sorry, a guy that played with Dominique, Howard Dunker, was it exciting or interesting to see Jalen enter?
Yeah. I actually, Barry, I would love. Listen, I come from a competitive place. That's just who I am. I would love to see the best players play in the dunk contest. I mean, we forget 100 years ago. There used to be a one-on-one contest, and all the best players got in it. No one was worried about what it looked like to lose, So it takes a lot of guts to do it now, and so maybe he'll set a trend or a change, and it'd be great. First question you've ever asked, so I thought that I would answer that. Yeah, I like it. Yeah. Well, defenses have to evolve, but we forget, like, in the early or late 70s, there was great ball movement. The game was a high-scoring game. The shot attempts were like at 110 to 115 attempts by each team. So we're just trying to catch back up in a lot of ways to the pace of the game of the 70s. We forget about that. But you still want to be able, when this guy is dribbling down the floor, I want to be able to touch him a little bit, and guard him a little bit. I think fans want to see both. I think they like offense, but they also like a competitive defensive battle as well. You always get questions. What's going on? I'm great.
What is your favorite All-Star game memory of all time?
My favorite memory is the game I played in. For me, it was in Chicago where I grew up, and I remember standing in the national anthem, and Al Jarreau was singing, and Larry Bird was standing next to me, and Michael was on the others. It doesn't get much better than that moment for me, so that'll always be my favorite moment. Thank you. Are you just showing up for work, or? Okay, I was just checking.
Real quick, I know in Dallas, this idea was a little strange, but now
Yeah.
you're here doing the thing. Like, is it?
It's still strange, for me because, I really believe this is Griff's All-Star. I'm going to honor that by giving him everything. I was going to give him this, but I needed something to wear. So he's not getting a sweatsuit, but he's getting everything else. And he deserves it. He earned that. So I'm just kind of doing my best for him and for the league.
Doc, what's your favorite saying or quote?
Wow, that's deep, man. It's early in the morning. My favorite saying would be in the Ubuntu phrase, "I am because you are."
That's my favorite saying too.
I love it. There you go. See? Home run. Home run.
Austin, will you beat Austin in a 1v1 ever? At this point.
A word of what?
Is there a world where you and Austin 1v1 right now? You beat him at a game of 11.
Not now. No.
Do you get any buckets on him right now?
No. Have you seen me move? Do you see me walk around?
You could still play.
I could still shoot, and I wasn't a good shooter. I think my last victory against Austin was his sophomore year in high school.
So it's been a minute.
It's been a minute.
One of the craziest high school mixtapes of all time.
He does have whoever did that was unbelievable. I agree.
Doc, did you call Adrian Griffin about the bonus?
Oh, he already knows it. No, all Griff told me was, "Can you please win the game, because it's 25 to the loser, 100 to the winner." So Griff's trying to get more money, and I'd be happy to give him every dime. Well, I can't say the same thoughts that I could have 3 weeks ago. 3 weeks ago, I would have told you that they're this. Now they're the competitor. So I have to look at that a little. I mean, they're the best team in the East right now. They've played that way. Cleveland over the last 30 games or 20 games has been right there. But listen, Miami is the team that won these last year, and I think people forget about them. You have to give them respect. But right now, the Celtics are the team to beat in the East. Yeah. I think for a guy to get it, he's going to have a team that says, "Let's go get it for you" that night. I don't think that's going to come natural, if you know what I'm saying. Or a game where a lot of guys are injured and that one guy, but then defensively, he would never be able to get that. Because the reason you're getting that is because you have good players around you. So that would be one. And the type of player usually would have to be a guy that has the ball in his hands all the time. The Joel one stands out to me because that meant someone had to give him the ball. Now, Joel does bring it up a lot, but for half of those, someone gave him the ball, and that's a hard one to get.
Doc, thank you so much.
Thank you, guys.
Doc, we gotta go right now.
Yeah.
4 years since you've had an All-Star game here.
Yeah. Yeah.
You've been here many, many times.
Yeah.
Thoughts on this city?
Well, this city, I don't know if you heard Jalen and I, Brunson, talking, doing if that was our practice. I think that was called. But we were talking about high school level basketball, and Indiana and Illinois there's nothing like it. I mean, I grew up in Illinois, and I didn't watch the Bulls. I watched high school games. You went to high school games, and the same thing here, Hoosiers and all that. So of all the places that should have all-star games, I mean, the field houses, this is a perfect place. This is basketball country, and I don't know if people get that, but this is absolutely basketball country. Thanks, guys. Jenna.